Hi, my name is Martin Petrosian, and today I'm going to be presenting my rough draft. My rough draft is titled How to Make Great Barbecue. Let's get started. People sometimes wonder what is the secret behind perfect barbecue. People may have messed up on dinner, which involves barbecue, and begin to wonder, what should I do for my barbecue to come out perfect? According to John Mole's Meat, it is stated that the science behind the best barbecue is the combination of heat, smoke, and the Maillard reaction. Heat breaks down protein and fats in the meat. The smoke adds the flavor and aroma. So why should I talk about making the best barbecue? According to Statista, up to 68% of Americans barbecue on 4th of July each year. 4th of July is the most popular holiday in the US according to a 2023 study. About 68% of Americans like to host a barbecue on this day. As for anyone who likes making barbecue, I think this speech is great because people will get something out of this speech. In my speech today, I would like to talk about making the best barbecue. First, I want to talk about how you should marinate your barbecue, what to do when you stick the meat on the grill, and talking about how long the meat should cool off. To begin, let's talk about how to make the perfect barbecue. According to a February According to a 2021 article, it states on how to marinate food that is going to be barbecued. Marinating is a great way to enhance flavor in the food that is being prepared on the grill. It also helps tenderize the meat as it is cooking on the grill. When the meat is tenderized in the acidic marinade, like wine for example, it traps the liquid and it makes it more juicier on the inside. Dairy-based products like buttermilk or yogurt help tenderize the meat. The calcium in the dairy has enzymes that help break down the protein. Here's some effects on what can happen if you don't marinate correctly. If you add too much salt to your meat, the meat can taste all salty and it will taste off. If you marinate and freeze the meat, the outer layer will be mushy from the frozen acid and it will leave you with a piece of meat which won't be edible and can't be cooked. I have just discussed on how to marinate your meat. Now I will talk about how to cook the meat and what to avoid when cooking. According to an article from July of 2017 on The Guardian, the expert expert guide to the perfect meat barbecue, it talks about what you would need to do to get that perfect barbecue up. When starting the grill, it needs to be hot, but not too hot. Light the flames prior to putting anything on the grill so the flames die out so you can start cooking. Later, the ashes should be white and burned out. And before taking the barbecue off the grill, season the meat for a boost of taste. Now that you guys have learned about some ways to cook barbecue, let's talk about what you should not what you should avoid when making barbecue. Grilling the meat straight from the refrigerator. Let the meat cool for a few minutes before cooking it on the grill, not using a thermometer. When barbecuing, always check the current temperature of the meat with a thermometer when it is being cooked, so that way you know if it's too hot or too cold. I've talked about um, how to marinate your meat and how to cook it. I'm going to talk about how to cool off your meat. According to an article from Food and Wine titled Use Carryover Cooking Perfectly Cooked Meat, it talks about what to do when letting your meat cool. Why should you let your meat rest after it cooks? One reason for letting your meat cool is for the juices and moisture to rise. To warm meat, you can put it in a tray or serving plate and wrap it in meat in aluminum. You should let your meat warm up for about 5 to 15 minutes. For herbs, basted pork, chopped salmon, or steak stew, you can let those cool for about 10 minutes. Now that you guys have learned what you should do when cooling food, let's talk about what you should not do when cooling food. Never leave out never leave the meat out for too long. The longer it's left out, the chances of bacteria growing on the food. Putting very hot food in a cooler or a freezer is not a good idea. If you place your meat in a cooler or freezer, the the meat is likely to rise in temperature of everything being held in it. Now that we have covered on how to make the perfect barbecue, let's discuss this in conclusion. First, we talked about how to marinate the barbecue, and then we saw how to stick it onto the grill. And then we saw how to cool the barbecue. I hope my speech has brought ideas on how to make the perfect barbecue. As Katie Lee, an author, once said, if summer has had one defining scent, it definitely had to be the smell of barbecue. Thank you for listening. I'm gonna go enjoy some barbecue.